Hey guys, Jake from Evolving Daily. I'm pretty excited about something today because this is an issue I've been dealing with for quite a while, and I think other guys do too. So I've always had a problem with red dots and a little bit with I've got a self-diagnosed astigmatism. So a red dot, even I've owned an Aimpoint Comp M3, I've shot T1s, T2s. I've shot most of the Aimpoints on buddies' guns. All of them, the dot was blurry or blown out or multiple dots, however you want to call it. The gun I'm going to show you on is a Holosun dot. I don't know what number it is. It was recommended by an instructor. It is a little more pronounced than on Aimpoints, but nothing extreme. So when I look at a red dot, or if I'm really shooting bullseyes on crosshairs of a magnified optic, it blurs out. With red dots, I get multiple dots, stuff like that. Found a fix for it accidentally, and I've shot this way before, but never really paid much attention to it, I guess. But I was working on a gun, and anyhow, let's get into it. And it's a super simple fix you probably already have in place. It's just using them together. And so this is a cheap dot, and I do not recommend these backup sights. I'm trying them out because they're crazy cheap and they're available in box stores, because people always ask me, oh, I want to put this or that, and I can't recommend something cheap, and that's what a lot of people are looking for. So the gun is a Midwest 10.5 pistol thingy with a sling and dot and all that shit. But anyhow, if I just bring up with my red dot, if I have it cranked way up, I'll try to zoom in and show you this. If I have it cranked way up, I get a oblong dot with all kind of shit around it. It looks worse than this compared to the others. It's big. Now if I'm in crazy direct sunlight, it cleans up at distance, like 50 yards and past, but it's a very big dot. Cluster of dots, I guess. If I crank it to probably a normal setting, I get a big dot and a couple small ones and then a bunch of little ones. A usable, like crank it down to where I can still use it, but cleans up a good bit, I get something about like this. And these aren't to scale to each other. This is the cleanest one. If I'm just using the dot. If I kick up my backups and look through the ring, then with a pretty high intensity, like this one, the brightness setting set to something like that, on the small aperture, it's almost a clean dot with just a couple specks around it. On the large aperture, or the nighttime setting on your backups, it's a little bit of an oblong dot with like 4 fingers, and that's not to scale. It's a little cleaner than that, really. Now people are going to say, well, if you're shooting with your irons and your dot, you're not using the speed of the dot. Okay. Go out and play with it. It's a little bit easier to do than I've only played with it for 10 minutes. Haven't even shot this way, just doing ups, like on the chin. Bring it up. Bring it up. That, with the nighttime setting, the big aperture on the rear, it's in there. And it cleans up the dot, I would say 50% or more. That's what my scientific data says. The small aperture, it's, for me, my natural rise, it's up and shift it just a hair, and then I can do things. But you could leave your gun set to the large aperture, and you can do all kind of shit with it. And then if you need to, hey, I'd like to knock that steel down at about 200, you just click up your small one. And obviously, if you don't have astigmatism, then problem solved. There's never a problem. Anyhow, this video's went on way long. I need to trim one down just for the Instagrams. Speaking of that, Instagram, Facebook, all those things, I'm trying to do a little better posting shit on there. If you have a blurry or a double dot or a whatever you want to call it, go out to the range and kick up your backup. Just the backups, not the fronts. You could do that, but anyhow, I'm going to go play with it some more, and there will probably be another video in the future of like something little I found whilst doing it. Try it out. Be prepared to thrive while others survive.